Today on Fan Talk, we got the brand new Letters from the Colony album, Vignette. Hi everyone, my name's Kale. Welcome back to another episode of Fan Talk on Bronze Metalist. Today we are talking about the brand new Letters from the Colony album. It's their debut album called Vignette. They are a Swedish progressive metal / djent band, and there's a lot going on this record. So we'll start simple by asking, what did this album get right? So right off the bat, the tone of this album absolutely had me hooked. It's like if Fallujah and Meshuggah had this really weird prog metal djent baby, I think this would be the result. Most of the songs are kept really fresh with a surprising amount of melody and really enticing leads that give a sense of tranquility that are interspersed with all these really heavy, djenty, palm-muted riffs. My general feeling for the album was being pleasantly surprised. The first track that I heard off of this record was the single Erasing Contrast, which is among the djentiest of the songs on this record, and honestly, it's my least favorite. So I had that song on my brain when I first started listening to this album, and I'm happy to say that it didn't ruin the rest of the experience. I found myself really digging this record, but not every letter from this colony is a love letter. So we gotta ask, what did this album get wrong? So for me, outside of the occasional perusal of the back catalog of bands like Periphery or After the Burial, I'm not huge on djent, and if you're in the same boat as me, you might find that some of those palm-muted riffs that I mentioned earlier outstay their welcome. You know, I'm used to grindcore and death metal walls of sound where there's not necessarily a lot of complexity going on, but it's very fast and very intense. And so djent tends to be a little bare bones for me. Thankfully, these really long, sort of like 45-second bare bones djent riffs were few and far between for the most part, or at the very least, they usually had an interesting lead going over them. So I managed to stick things out and not get bored and not turn it off. And I'm actually really excited to check out this record again. There's not a lot negative that I have to say about it, which I'm happy about. I'm always happy to review good albums. One might say that the vocals on this record were a little boring. I can see how people might say that they need a little bit more variety, but honestly, I thought there was enough variety, and I don't think that there needed to be too much more than what we heard. There were some really good low death metal growls on the first track, Galax. That's what sticks out to me the most. There were probably more on other parts of the record that I failed to remember, but that at the very least told me, hey, this guy knows what he's doing, more than just one single vocal. So if after hearing all of this, you're still asking yourself, should I listen to this album? The answer is yes. Yes, you should. If you like djent, if you like the harder edge of progressive metal, I think that there is a ton on this record that you are going to like. I'm not even that big into djent, and I still found a lot to love on this record. As soon as I turn that camera off, I'm going to be listening to it again. This is the best new album that I've listened to in a while, and I'm happy to have come across it because it is some really good stuff. That's all that I have to say about this album, so if you like this video, please give it a like. If you really like it, subscribe to the channel. You'll get more videos like this one. And if you're interested in hearing more from me and my opinions on music, check out my podcast, Bronze Metalist. You can find it here on YouTube. You can also find it on iTunes and Libsyn. Every week, me and my buddy Jaron talk about a different metal album. This week, we're talking about Ovid's Withering, the album Scryers of the Ibis. It's their last album that they ever made, and it was okay. If you're interested in hearing more about it, check out the episode. Anyway, until you see and hear from me again, I hope you all have a great time, whatever it is you're doing. Thank you for watching.